Do you share my opinion that it is absolutely ridiculous when professional basketball players can't make foul shots?
Oh, absolutely ridiculous. Yes.
Because it's like, by far, it has to be the easiest part of their job.
I mean, it's the only part that includes free in the title of their job.
Right. I'm also surprised that, like, we don't see more creativity or more experimentation at the foul line for those guys who can't do it.
There's a technically tried and true method, aka the granny shot. You go granny style with it and throw that bad boy underhand, and like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure science shows that that is a much more accurate shot.
So we've got science on our side. That guy Rick Barry in the 70s was like a 90% free throw shooter, all underhand.
Right, and if you poll the NBA for most confident player of all time, Rick Barry's at the top of most people's list. If you are comfortable doing that shot, you are one confident individual.
I bring it up because there is a rule that limits creativity at the free throw line. Basically, the reason we've never seen anyone take off and try to dunk as their foul shot is because a couple of spoil sports were afraid of Wilt Chamberlain, and thus a rule was invented. It is Rule 9, Section 1B. The free throw shooter may not step over the plane of the free throw line until the ball touches the basket ring, backboard, or the free throw ends.
Okay, so it's a stay in your place until we say so rule.
This rule was first put into place in the NCAA, like 5 years before the NBA. But both were because of Wilt Chamberlain.
Sure, yeah.
When Wilt was a freshman in college at the University of Kansas, freshmen weren't on the varsity team, like no matter how good they were, even if they were Wilt Chamberlain. But the Jayhawks did this thing once a year where they had like a scrimmage between the freshmen and the varsity team. And it was like, you know, fun event, open to the public. We're having a nice time.
Sure, a way to kill a Friday night in Kansas.
Exactly. And because, you know, it's kind of fun, kind of silly, Wilt dunked from the free throw line on a foul shot.
Imagine the ability to do that. I will take back a previous statement that the underhand toss is the most confidence you can exude at the free throw line.
I really like the, almost underdog. It's like, you know, we're the freshman team. Everyone expects us to lose. Well, look what I can do.
Well, and it's funny because it's like, obviously there's Jordan dunking from the free throw line. Players have done it since, but always confined to the dunk contest or videos you see on Twitter where you're like, I bet that's fake, but I don't know. And the idea also, like, for somebody to have done that before we went to the moon, there's something where it's like, I bet their minds were blown.
Yeah, it's like humans can fly, actually. So.
Right, yeah, like the Wright brothers, I think, had just done their thing.
Right, and they probably felt so stupid, so much wasted time.
If Wilt Chamberlain had already been in existence when they made the first airplane, the blueprint would have looked totally different.
Yeah, just crumple it up and throw it into the garbage.
Just make it look like Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah. So a guy in the crowd described watching it, and he said Wilt wasn't at the top of the circle, but he was a few steps behind it. And then he ran to the free throw line, took off, and dunked the ball.
So realistically, that's like 3 steps for him, tops?
Yeah, it's extremely impressive. That guy in the crowd who I quoted describing it wasn't just a fan. He was the Kansas State coach at the time, Tex Winter. So he was coaching Kansas State, which is like in-state rival to the Jayhawks. He saw Wilt do that and was like, oh, that fucking sucks for me and my team.
Can any of us do that?
Yeah, real quick.
No, we can't? Oh, shit. Okay.
Not only did he want to do something about it, he was in a position to do something about it. He was chairman of the Coaches Rules Recommendation Committee.
Now that feels like a conflict of interest.
Right? I bet he wasn't even at the game to have a nice Friday night in Kansas. I bet he was there just to come up with rules.
He was stewing. He was like, I smell rule potential here.
Yeah. So basically he ruined our chances of ever seeing someone dunk in a free throw line. The NCAA was like, yeah, sure, that sounds good. We'll adopt that rule.
I never thought I would hate somebody named Tex, but here we are.
So that was an NCAA rule, and it didn't actually, the NBA didn't pick it up when colleges did.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Just kind of ignored it. Until 1960, Wilt's second season in the league. He was struggling with free throws. He was shooting like 40% at the end of November. He had a big game coming up. He's on the Philadelphia Warriors. They were playing the Celtics. They were both like vying for first in the East at this point in the season. Previous season, Celtics had beat them in the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's a little rivalry, kind of a big game. An article comes out about Wilt's like free throw struggles that season, and both him and his coach were kind of like, okay, Wilt's not gonna dunk from the free throw line, but he could.
Oh.
Very strange statement to put in the press.
Why tempt fate?
Yes, just do it secretly. The day the article came out, Jocko Collins, supervisor of the officials, made it illegal to cross the free throw line before the ball hits something.
That's the worst possible ending for this. I had hope when you introduced the fact that the NBA didn't pick up on what the NCAA laid down, that it was like, NBA, the cool league. The NBA where players go to have fun.
You would hope, you would
think. And
think.
instead, multiple parties taunted the rule book. Said, we're not going to do this, but we could. But maybe. We might. We could do it. And then the refs come along and they're like, they're right, they could do it.
Just building up anticipation.
And then Jocko.
Fucking Jocko. He acknowledged that, like, you can't change the rule book mid-season, but what he did was send out a directive to make it illegal, which I guess is some sort of workaround.
Oh, so he bragged. You can't change the rule book. Well, you can't. But Jocko can do something about it.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that, just based on the way our conversation's going, you would be in the camp of the NBA should abolish the rule and allow dunking at the free throw line.
I think because the rule has always existed, it makes sense to keep it. Because I think if that rule hadn't existed and guys who were bad at free throws but had the capability to dunk from the free throw line in like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, like there's so much brand potential for individuals who might not be household names to do something really cool and to all of a sudden say like, okay, as of 2022, you can now do this thing that we haven't done for like that. It does feel unfair. Yes, it would allow for something really cool and spectacular that I would like to see, but
it's just unfair to history.
I think so.
I think I agree with your conclusion that they shouldn't abolish the rule, but for a different reason. Yes, it would be cool to see, but also I kind of like it when players are really bad at free throws.
Okay, sure.
It gives me a sense of superiority. It's like, you know, you're constantly criticizing them. You know, someone misses a dunk, wow, we're going to criticize them. But also in the back of your head, you're like, holy shit, he just jumped extremely high.
Right. It is the closest to a, like, just like us sort of moment that you get in sports. I feel like I'm going to think about this anytime I see somebody miss a free throw forever now.
Especially because, like, it's usually big men who can't do it. And it's like, just reach your arms out and you're halfway to dunking. So it's a very natural thing to think about it. And now that we've discussed it.
What could have been?
What could have been?
Special thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook for partnering with us on this video. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving all new players a deposit bonus up to $1,000 with their first deposit. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, check out everything they're offering like parlays and player props, then watch some more secret-based videos while the games play out. Or watch the actual games and embrace the joy of in-game betting. It's totally your call. I think at this point, I don't think I'll ever fill out another bracket because I'll rather just do parlays and the in-game action is a lot more fun. So if you want to join me, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code SECRETBASE, all one word, and they're just handing out deposit bonuses, like up to $1,000 in site credits. It's safe, secure, and reliable. You can deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. If Sportsbook is not yet available in your state, don't forget about the DraftKings Fantasy app. They're offering millions of dollars in total prizes every week. Don't forget, use promo code SECRETBASE. That's us. You know us. You love us. You're hopefully subscribed to us. And if you're not, but you've made it this far in the video, I'm impressed.